Hello and welcome back to Like Magic. I'm your host, Taria Davis, and in today's episode, we're going to be speaking more about soulmates and twin flames. I know I said that this season, I was going to talk about more supernatural things. I am going to continue to do so, but I do want to touch back on those topics that I spoke about in the first season and really get into detail about things. Just like with the majority of my work, it comes from life experience. And it's a lot of stuff that's been going on recently that I really need to speak on. And I've been thinking, should I do a video on it? Should I do a live stream? No, I'm just going to do a podcast episode. So today's episode is going to be about soulmates and twin flames and why it's hard for other people to understand the relationship between the two people involved. Now, I have had multiple soulmate relationships. I've been with a twin flame, or what was seen as a twin flame, and things went bad. Long story short, I've just been in a lot of soulmate type of connections. And I've always had, like with the higher level connections, I've always had certain people in the background that want to put their personal opinion into things or just don't really understand the true nature of these relationships. I actually just did a reading today, like, cause I'm doing I was doing my collective readings for each zodiac signs. And one of the messages that came out was that someone had started a new connection, but there was a lot of people around that person or in that person's energy field talking in their ear and saying this and saying that, basically saying that the relationship was moving too fast, stuff like that. And it really made me think about my own personal situation. So I definitely wanted to touch on that. Not more in an angry way, but a way to open the eyes of other people. Maybe it'll help. I'm gonna tell you what Google says about this type of stuff. Hold on one second. I actually have my phone on me this time. What is a twin flame? Don't you love when you trying to type something and do it in a timely manner? Either your typing skills fuck up or the keyboard swipe fuck up. Okay, so a soulmate. A soulmate is a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity. This may involve similarity, love, romance, platonic relationships, comfort, intimacy, sexuality, sexual activity, spirituality, and compatibility, and trust. Now, a twin flame relationship I'm just going to say what this says. A twin flame involves two people who share the same soul. Once these twin flames meet, this results in an intense magnetic attraction and connection. These individuals share similar past experiences and trauma. So basically, in my own words, like I have said before, soulmates are people in your soul tribes. These are people that you resonate with heavily. Once you meet them, you have this inner knowing of who they are. You feel like you've known them forever. And there's a few people in my life that are soulmates, and I haven't even really held actual conversations with them, but I feel like I know them because they are soulmates. And the same thing goes with the twin flame connection. It's the same thing. It's just way more intense. But just to help explain what I've been trying to say or what I wanted to say in this episode, I don't even know if it's going to be a full episode because I don't know how long I'm going to be talking on this subject, but a couple months ago, my twin flame was he was doubting a lot of stuff and he was trying to figure out, why do I feel like this? He actually thought I was doing spell work on him. But, it was just the whole process of, because I'm highly spiritual and he was living in a more normal type of lifestyle. So it was kind of confusing. I don't know you. Why do I have these feelings towards you? Why is this? Why is that? And that's totally I get why certain people feel that way. So the way I broke it down to him was, when if you're a normal person, you start dating, you go out on a few dates. Basically, you start dating someone that looks nice. We're not going to say, that attraction doesn't matter. We're not even going to lie like that, because a person has to be attracted to you in the first place. but something attracts you to that person. And then you meet them, and then you start learning more about them, and you're dating now, right? It was just 5:06 on the timer. So in that dating phase, you're having fun and you're getting to know each other. Normally, when relationships go to the next level, when it becomes a committed relationship or even a marriage, these people have created this bond between each other. Like, they know each other behind who they are, like their outside appearance. They really know who this person is. So that's what makes people decide to take relationships to the next level, learning who their partner really is and actually falling in love with who they really are. It was just 5:33 on the timer when I started saying that, breaking down to 11. But with these soulmate and twin flame type of connections, you recognize a soul first. So it's almost like cheating the system. If I was to go out and start dating someone, and then once I got to know them and I really felt like they were a cool person, and I decided that we both decided that we wanted to take the relationship to the next level, that's because we both came to this mutual consensus that we appreciate who our partner is. I can't talk today, on a more deeper level. The only reason we started dating was because of appearances and like that initial attraction. But with soulmates and twin flames, it's like they skip that initial attraction. It goes straight to getting to know that person on a deeper level, because you already do, because your souls are connected. So that's basically, I'm going to try to explain it more in depth as like the episode continues, if it continues. But that's basically why it seems like these relationships move too fast and they seem weird. Even before me and my twin actually got on common ground, he thought that I was doing spell work on him. He was like, we were constantly arguing, like it was a lot of, how do I say this, aggressive energy towards one another, because he felt like I made him feel different, and he didn't like that. How do I feel this way about you? Who are you? What did you do to me? That type of feeling. But when you are more spiritually inclined, you notice that it's not the physical appearance that attracts another spiritual person. So, that's the best way I can try to describe that right now. It's more of a soul-based connection than a material-based connection. I'm just really trying to think of more examples to help to better explain all of this, so it'll make more sense to everybody. But that's basically the gist of everything. That's basically it. I didn't want it to be this short because I wanted this to really be a podcast episode and not a video or a little, like a short clip or whatever. But if you encounter someone that you don't really know, like even in real life, like I don't want to say real life. Let's say you are a person that goes out, you go to the gym every day and you go do this every day or whatever. Let's say you meet someone at a gym, like you don't even meet them. Like you call, like, hey, he looked at you, you looked at him, or she looked at you and you looked at her. Maybe you held a quick conversation like, hey, you still using that, or something like that. And then you start to feel this deep feeling for somebody. And this is not for people who aren't mentally stable because a lot of mentally unstable people tend to become obsessed and do weird shit, but we're not talking about that. We talking about soulmates and twin flames and shit. So if you start to notice that you feel drawn to someone and you don't really know them, this person at the gym, it gets confusing because you're like, why is this person always on my mind? I don't even know them. It's because of that soul connection. If you have a soul connection with someone, that's going to overpower the material every single time. This physical appearance it will never, ever be able to come up against a soul connection. And that's why, a lot of unawakened people don't understand soulmates and twin flames. And I guess it's because they're not supposed to understand them. This is not just for my twin flame either. I have a few soulmate friends, like people that I haven't even, I don't want to say his name, but there is one guy who's a soulmate of mine. And I haven't even met in person, but I consider him my best friend. But I'm going to talk about this girl that I haven't even really met. Like, we haven't even held a real full conversation with each other, but I know this is like a soul mate, as in like soul tribe member. Like, I call her my soul sister. It was just 10-10, then 10-11. But I don't even know where she stay at, but I know she don't stay in the same state I stay in. But I just feel like I've known her forever. We act like the same people. Like, we share the same vibe. We enjoy the same things. And I don't even know her. That's a soulmate. This material world will not ever be able to come up against that soulmate connection. She's wherever, probably hundreds of miles away, but I'm still able to acknowledge that this is a friend of mine, and this is somebody I can trust, and this is somebody that's not going to do me dirty or be talking behind my back and stuff like that. That's what these soulmates, soul tribe members, and twin flames really are. They're your true family. We are born into a material family when we come onto this earth. As we grow older on our spiritual journey, we start to learn that the family we were born into they're not really our family. This is our physical family. It's our material family. But who is our soul family? Who really connects to your soul? And if anybody has followed me on any other platforms, you can tell that I am not, the family that I was born into is not my family at all. I do not connect with these people in no type of way. We don't share the same interests at all. I just don't fit into my own family. And when you don't fit into a certain place, that's because those people are not really meant for you. But when you get around those people where they feel like home, where they are comfortable to you, where you can trust them and you don't know why you can trust them, where they just feel like a safe place, those are soulmates. Or it could potentially be a twin flame. You will have to look more deeper into the situation, but that's what that is. And I'm not going to get upset, but it is kind of upsetting when I have people constantly trying to come at me like, oh, you're crazy, you're obsessed, and this, that, and that. I don't really care what people think about me. But on my twin flame side, like, that's something that's really bothering him. His main thing was, I met this person and she makes me happy, but everybody around me is against it. And I want to be able to share my happiness with other people. And I don't understand why I can't. I don't understand why they feel this way about her. And I feel this way about her. Like, I feel totally different about her. It's because they don't understand the soul connection. They haven't even tapped into their souls to understand the soul connection. Because even if someone isn't your soulmate, if they are on a spiritual journey, and they are truly tapped into who they truly are, they will 100% understand a soulmate connection. It's another girl, like, she's a Facebook friend. I added her accidentally years ago. Like, I mean, like over 10 years ago. And I feel like she is a really close friend of mine. Like, we vibe the same. We like the same shit. We're goofy in the same type of way. But I've never met this girl a day in my life. Ever. I accidentally added her. I thought she was somebody else, and this was somebody completely different. And we're still friends to this day. That's how soulmate connections work. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know if it's a better way for me to put it. And it's I'm only 13 minutes into this episode, and I don't want to end it right here. But I don't have too much to say about the situation. It's going to be hard for those who aren't connected to their true selves to understand what a soulmate connection is. And that's part of the reason I do what I do. Excuse me. I want people to wake up to who they truly are. And I see a lot of people, mostly a lot of females, going through all these toxic ass cycles and toxic ass relationships because they keep getting into relationships with people that don't match them, people that aren't energetically compatible. Like, oh, he's cute or she's cute and she's this and he's that. Like, okay, let's become a couple. Like, okay, that'll be fun, but it's not going to reach those depths that you are looking for with 1406 on the timer, because there is no true soul connection there. So that's why I try to teach everybody to become the best version of yourself, 1414 on the timer, so that you can attract that exact energetic match in the form of a soulmate, in the form of a soul tribe member, in the form of a twin flame. Because that's how, I just feel like that's how society really is supposed to go. And I'm gonna do a little bit too much and dive more into religion with this. They all, one of the 10 commandments is, or it says something like, cause I don't want to fuck it up. Basically, oh my God. Is that one of the 10 commandments? I don't think that's one of the 10 commandments. I think I just almost lied to y'all. But basically, You are not supposed to sleep with anybody you aren't married to. And when I was younger, that never made sense to me, because I'm like, and this was just coming from a 3D mindset. I'm like, what if the sex not good and y'all just basically tied the knot? Now you have to be stuck with this for the rest of your life. Not sleeping with somebody that when the Bible or Jesus or your pastor or whatever say you are not supposed to have sex until you're married, that means in a more spiritual sense, if you are not connected to someone who shares the same core values as you, you are not supposed to be sleeping with them at all, period. And for a while, when I was still in the twin flame connection with Greg, I was trying not to say any names, but I feel like I spoke about his name enough on for people to understand what I'm saying. But when I was in the connection with him, I was always saying that I'm celibate. And a lot of people was thinking like, I'm not finna marry you just so I can sleep with you, because I'm not trying to, I don't want that type of commitment. But what I was saying from a more spiritual point, if I haven't connected to you spiritually, if I haven't truly connected to you, that shit just will never happen. We won't be sleeping together. It was just 15:59 on the clock, breaking down to 11. Because that's just, I feel like it's going against my morals. And this is me after I had started my spiritual journey. So with that being said, these spiritual connections and spiritual relationships aren't meant to be understood by everybody, because it's too deep for them to understand. And for a while, I feel like a lot of people was looking at my current situation in a weird type of way. Like they thought I was just like playing nice or trying to play a role. And after a whole bunch of lies came out about me, I decided to expose myself. And once I exposed myself, it was a few videos where I was crying about some stuff, where I was really in my emotions. I mean, like really upset. And that was able to like, okay, so she's not joking around. She's not trying to use she's not trying to use him. She's not doing this. But now it's changing the story to, why is she like that? Why is like, you haven't even met him, you haven't even done this, and you doing all this, and you don't understand. And if you have that mindset, you will never understand. Just like I said, for the soulmates, it was 2 soulmates that I did a live, and I actually said in that live, like I literally said, this may sound weird, but I genuinely, truly love y'all, seriously. And a lot of people take that as she's being weird, or what's wrong with her, and you don't even know these people. And I do know them, and I know them more than you do. And that's one of the huge problems in society today when it comes to this material versus spiritual type of thing. That's the same thing that goes with my twin flame connection. A lot of people thought I was doing spell work to pull this man out of the relationship that he was already in. But what made him decide to leave that relationship was that the girl that he was with for years wasn't able to see how he truly felt on the inside for the longest, and she lived with him. But I showed up 18:03 on the timer, breaking down to 1:11, and I was able to see who he truly was behind the status he has, or what he shows to people on the outside. I'm able to see past that because we share this soul connection. When someone is able to see you for who you truly are, and they don't treat you based on what you have, that literally, like, that could cause a spiritual awakening in itself, because that's how I had my spiritual awakening. But it didn't go too well for me. That first connection, that first soulmate connection. But people who go against your soulmate connections or your twin flame connection, these are people who are severely unawakened, and you can't take their advice. You can't look at what they say. You literally take everything, I don't want to say this phrase wrong, with a grain of salt, because they just don't know. It was just 19:02 on the timer, breaking down to 1:11 again. They just don't know, and you can't force them to know. They have to learn this on their own. And a lot of people that have these opinions about these soulmate relationships and these twin flame relationships, they're in karmic relationships. They're with their partner because of money or convenience or just out of straight boredom. And that's not what a relationship is ever supposed to be. It's supposed to be you coming together with basically a friend. Literally, I feel like all relationships should be based on friendship, because that's what brings that depth that everybody is looking for. Trying to create that without that friendship baseline, without that soul connection, it's gonna end badly every time. And I've learned that the hard way myself. So with that being said, I believe I'm going to leave that episode here. It's been about 20 minutes. I was able to stretch it that far, so I guess that's enough. But soulmate relationships, soul tribe connections, and twin flame connections, they're completely different from anything else that a lot of people tend to see on a day-to-day basis. It's very, well, soulmate connections aren't rare. It's rare that people connect with their soulmates because they have to go on their spiritual journey. Twin flame connections are very rare. They don't happen that often. And these soul tribe connections, they don't tend to, flourish the way they should, because like I said, a lot of people don't put in the work in order to grow on their spiritual journey. So it's just all about growing more into who you are spiritually, and not just spiritually, emotionally, who you truly are on the inside. Like once you start trying to feel like, stop. This is why I tell people to stop putting on masks, stop faking who they are, because if you're faking who you are, you're eventually going to be faking to the point where you forget who you truly are. And now that's a problem. Excuse me, 2054 on the timer, breaking down to 11, and the burp for confirmation. But if you don't know who you truly are, then it's going to be hard for you to recognize any type of soulmate connection, whether it be platonic or romantic. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for tuning into this very short episode of Like Magic, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.